Hello, my friends. Now let's work on our NJSLA practice question number 27. And this is the last one. We are almost done. So for question number 7, it gives you one equation. I let you prove x equal. And this is basically just how to isolate the variable. Now let's see. Isolate variable, we need to use inverse operation. So the order of operation, which is PAM does, okay, parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. We follow this order. However, for the inverse operation, we need reverse the operation by going bottom to top. Now let's use this equation, see how can we isolate the variable by using the inverse operation. Keep this in mind. We are trying to isolate x here, where a, b, and c represent a number, a constant. Do not expand it out. Then you're going to create it even worse. Now let's see. According to our inverse operation, we needed to deal with addition or subtraction first. Let's see. I have subtraction here. Then I need to deal with subtraction. The inverse of subtraction, which is addition. Okay, add b for both sides. Okay. Now, let me drag it down. A times x minus 3 squared equals c plus b. Or if you want to flip it over in the alphabet order, b plus c, that's also fine because this is addition is commutative. You're able to flip over, okay? Now, second one, we need to deal either multiplication or division. I have a is multiplying with this parenthesis. So you can add a little tiny dot or a little tiny multiplication sign here to remind you they're multiplying together. It's the second one I need to deal the inverse of multiplication, which is division. Okay, then a is gone. Now drag it down. I have x minus 3 squared equals c plus b over a. Now look at the order of operation exponent, okay? So the inverse of square, which is just square root. However, keep this in mind, when you apply square root, must be one positive square root and one negative square root. For example, when you have a number 9, you want to find the square root of number 9. Positive 3 is square root of number 9. Negative 3 is also a square root of number 9. Therefore, you need to cover both one positive square root and one negative square root. They're cancel, cross it out. Okay, rewrite it. X minus 3 equal positive and negative square root of c plus b over a. This is the parentheses, and we keep it the last one we deal. Now, again, subtraction, I'm going to use the inverse, which is addition. Addition. Now, the rule for math is that put the integer in the front of your radical. Therefore, you have x equal 3 plus minus square root of. Now let's flip it over because again, addition is commutative. You are able to flip it over. Okay, now check the question. We got exactly what your question asked for. However, for this part, what I really need to mention is that when you're trying to type in the computer, you're not able to cross it out or divide right in this way. You have to translate your work back to a word. For example, here you need to write it down. When you type is add b on both sides. Okay, this is what you need to type in. And then divide by a on both sides. And take square root for both sides. And then add 3 for both sides. This is, you have to translate your mathematical work back to Word, okay, to explain. Or if you really want to type in something like this. Now, let's look at here. If you want to type in, if you just type in as C plus B over A, which is wrong. Why? This will equal C plus B over A. Now, if you want to type in for this form, you have to add a parenthesis. Okay, where you type in is going to be C plus B parentheses slash A. That is as same as this one. Without the parentheses for C plus B, you have the form like this. You see the difference? So when you type in, make sure you cover yourself. And also for square root here, you have to type as square root of, then you need a parenthesis, C plus B, parenthesis slash A, and close parenthesis, which means everything in this parenthesis is under your square root. And make sure do not lose any point. So for next part, which is easier, if A is 2 and B is 5. And let's find out what is C will have X or real. In order to be real number, the group under radical must be greater than or equal to 0. Therefore, I can rewrite the question as only the part under the radical greater or equal than 0. Now substitute A equal 2 and B equal 5. You have 5 plus C over 2 greater or equal than 0. Multiply by 2 for both sides. You have 5 plus C greater or equal than 0. Minus 5 from both sides. You're going to have your C must be greater or equal than negative 5. This is the easy part, but you have to know where you need to apply the greater or equal than 0, which can make your X all real solutions. Let me make a quick recall for question number 27. Question number 27 is how do you solve X for a quadratic function? Again, you need to follow the inverse order of operation. If it's minus, we deal minus or subtract, addition or subtraction first. And by inverse operation, and the next we deal multiplication and division. And then we deal exponent. And the last step we keep for our parentheses. Then step by step, when you solve it, you get exactly the function, the question gave it to you, and you proved. However, when you type in on the computer, you have to translate your mathematical work into English word. So add B on both sides. Here is going to be divided by A for both sides. Take the square root for both sides and add 3 for both sides. This is what you need to type in. Also, if you want to type in some work here, be very careful. Look at the 2 different forms, which means you might need to apply a lot of parentheses in order to stay safe, okay? And for the second part, you just need focus on the group under the radical and substitute the given value then solve for C. In that case, if your C is greater or equal than -5, all your X are going to be real. This is all for question number 27, and we are done for that package.